interruption. Thank you for your kind cooperation and attention. Before we starting the event, I will read the rules. First, when the webinar starts, participants are expected to listen carefully. Second, do not unmute until you are requested. Third, do not write anything on chat room except your question. Fourth, participant who asks question can use the chat feature. Thank you. The Honorable Dr. Nur Mukarramah SKM MKes, Dean of the Faculty of Health Science, Universitas Muhammadiyah Surabaya, the Honorable Supatmi SKep Nurse MKes, Vice Dean of Academic Affairs, the Faculty of Health Science, Universitas Muhammadiyah Surabaya, the Honorable Reliani SKep Nurse MKes, Vice Dean of Finance Affairs, the Faculty of Health Science, Universitas Muhammadiyah Surabaya, the Honorable Elis Tunjung SM, SST, MSI, Chair of the Medical Laboratory Technology, Bachelor, Universitas Muhammadiyah Surabaya, the respectable guests, academicians, and our dearly students. I would like to also welcome Professor Ahmad Bilal Waqar, who will be the speaker at our event today. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our big event, Visiting Professor with the theme of Quality Management for Microbiology Examination. My name is Firda as a lecturer of the Medical Laboratory Technology Bachelor, Universitas Muhammadiyah Surabaya. It is a wonderful and precious chance for me to be your master of ceremony in this beautiful morning on Thursday, 18th of August 2022. First of all, let's thanks to our God, Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, who has been giving us His guidance, happiness, health, and mercy. So we can attend and participate in this event without any obstacles. Praise and salutation are given to our Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, who has guided us from the darkness to the lightness. Ladies and gentlemen, before we begin this event, let us pray together by reciting Basmalah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. May Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala make this event beneficial for all of us so this event can run smoothly and conducively. Ladies and gentlemen, let me deliver the structure of the event today as follows. First is the opening, which we previously had done together. Second is reciting Holy Quran. Third is welcoming remarks from Dr. Nur Mukarramah SKM MKes as Dean of the Faculty of Health Science, Universitas Muhammadiyah Surabaya. Fourth, profile of Medical Laboratory Technology Bachelor, Universitas Muhammadiyah Surabaya. Fifth is the core agenda and discussion about quality management for microbiology examination, and the last is closing. Step onto the following item is reciting the Holy Quran, who will be recited by our student, Ananda Rahmatul Hijriyah, student from the Medical Laboratory Technology Bachelor class of 20 and 21. Time is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Iqra bismi rabbikal ladzi khalaq. Khalaqal insana min 'alaq. Iqra wa rabbukal akram. Alladzi 'allama bil qalam. 'Allamal insana ma lam ya'lam. Kalla innal insana la yatgha. Ar-ra'ahu istaghna. Inna عبدا إذا صلى أرأيت إن كان على الهدى أو أمر بالتقوى أرأيت إن كذب وتولى ألم يعلم بأن الله يرى كلا لئن لم ينته لنسفعا بالناصية ناصية كاذبة خاطئة فليدع ناديه سندع الزبانية كلا لا تطيعه واسجد واقترب صدق الله العظيم. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you to Ananda Rahmatul Hidriyah, who has recited the Holy Quran for us. May Allah always give us guidance and help. Amin. Coming to the third item, we invite Dr. Nur Mukarromah SKM MKAS as the Dean of the Faculty of Health Science, Universitas Muhammadiyah Surabaya, to deliver her remarks and officially open this event. To Dr. Nur Mukarromah SKM MKAS, time is yours.
Baik, terima kasih. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, syukurillah, la haula wa la quwata illa billah. Rabbis rohli sodri wa yasirli amri wa hlul uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Amma ba'du. Baik, saya menggunakan bahasa Indonesia ya. Yang saya hormati Profesor Ahmed Bilal Waqar, atau yang nanti dalam hal ini akan dilaksanakan secara video ya. Yang saya hormati Wakil Dekan 1 dan Wakil Dekan 2, Ketua Program Studi D4TLM dan D3TLM, seluruh dosen, dan yang saya hormati, saya banggakan juga seluruh peserta visiting profesor yang dilaksanakan oleh program studi D4 Teknologi Laboratorium Medis. Mudah-mudahan pada pagi hari ini kita semua dalam keadaan sehat walafiat dan Allah selalu limpahkan rahmat dan inayahnya sehingga kita bisa mengikuti acara ini dengan keadaan sehat serta bisa mengambil manfaat untuk bisa kita laksanakan atau belajar bersama. Baik, tidak mengurangi makna pada pagi hari ini atau pada pelaksanaan visiting profesor pagi hari ini bahwa yang kita butuhkan adalah keilmuannya atau materinya sehingga nanti bisa kita simak bersama-sama meskipun dalam kegiatan ini tidak langsung live begitu ya, tetapi apa yang nanti disampaikan mudah-mudahan bisa memberikan manfaat kepada kita semua. Baik, hadirin dan seluruh peserta yang saya hormati, karena kegiatan visiting profesor ini menjadi satu bagian penting di dalam menilai atau dalam pelaksanaan pembelajaran di Fakultas Ilmu Kesehatan, maka ini harus menjadi kegiatan rutin di setiap program studi di mana visiting profesor ini akan mengeksplor keilmuan dari beberapa yang ada di masing-masing program studi. Untuk itu pengalaman real atau lapangan bahkan dari praktisi ini menjadi penting untuk bisa kita adopt, untuk bisa kita laksanakan dan untuk bisa kita pelajari bersama. Sejauh mana kondisi yang ada di lapangan, khususnya ini nanti seperti apa di Pakistan. Nah, ini menjadi pembelajaran penting, pengalaman real di sana untuk bisa kita aplikasikan di sini, mana yang bisa kita laksanakan sehingga kita ambil nilai manfaatnya atau nilai kepentingan untuk bisa pengembangan khususnya di laboratorium mikrobiologi ya. Nah, tema pada pagi hari ini adalah Quality Management of Microbiology Examination. Ini menjadi untuk bisa meningkatkan sejauh mana kualitas dari manajemen kualitas dari laboratorium mikrobiologi. Kalau kita ingat bahwa mutu atau kualitas atau quality control dari mikrobiologi ini atau laboratorium mikrobiologi ini menjadi satu tolak ukur atau indikator penting suatu laboratorium itu bisa valid dan bisa dipercaya baik oleh masyarakat atau bahkan oleh instansi yang lainnya, khususnya di bidang pendidikan. Nah, jaminan mutu laboratorium mikrobiologi ini adalah suatu usaha untuk kegiatan yang dilaksanakan oleh laboratorium untuk mendapatkan hasil dari pemeriksaan yang bermutu. Maksudnya seperti apa? Mutu dalam artian ketepatan. Ketepatan ini apakah hasil pemeriksaan itu betul atau tidak, sesuai dengan standar yang dibutuhkan. Yang kedua, perlu adanya ketelitian. Apakah kalau diperiksa ulang, hasil pemeriksaan ini tetap sama. Jadi ada validitas dan reliabilitasnya itu terukur, gitu ya. Dan yang ketiga, kecepatan. Mutu dari laboratorium mikrobiologi ini juga bisa dinilai dari kecepatan. Apakah hasil pemeriksaan ini cepat dan segera dapat digunakan? Karena kebutuhan atau orang melakukan pemeriksaan laboratorium itu membutuhkan hasil yang cepat untuk bisa dimanfaatkan atau untuk bisa cepat digunakan pada pemeriksaan yang lain atau pada diagnosa yang lain atau bahkan untuk bisa mendesain atau melaksanakan apakah hasil ini cepat untuk bisa digunakan. Kemudian adalah kegunaan. Jadi apakah pemeriksaan ini dapat membantu pencegahan dan pengobatan penyakit menular? Karena kondisi yang sekarang ini membutuhkan mutu atau quality control yang benar-benar bisa terpercaya, sehingga dalam kondisi pandemi yang sekarang ini atau untuk bisa mengeliminasi penyakit menular, itu sering menggunakan laboratorium mikrobiologi. Dan yang tidak kalah pentingnya adalah biayanya murah. Apakah dengan biaya murah, dalam hubungannya dengan kemampuan penderita dan masyarakat, ini hasilnya juga tetap bisa valid dan reliable. Nah, bagaimana strategi atau cara untuk bisa menjaga atau quality control dari laboratorium mikrobiologi ini, maka visiting professor pada pagi hari ini pas pematerinya karena beliau adalah pakarnya di bidang laboratorium mikrobiologi. Apalagi ini adalah pengalaman nyata di Pakistan. Maka nanti dengan media apapun, apakah itu bisa langsung atau melalui video, maka ilmunya atau materinya yang perlu kita simak bersama dan kita pelajari bersama, mana yang bisa kita adopt, mana yang bisa kita laksanakan. Nah, kalau kita lihat dari quality control ini pasti akan ada faktor-faktor yang berpengaruh terhadap ketepatan dan ketelitian hasil pemeriksaan laboratorium. Untuk itu perlu kita ketahui juga bahwa faktor yang pertama yang mempengaruhi itu adalah personil atau sumber daya manusianya. Kemampuan teknisi laboratorium ini berhubungan dengan mutu pendidikan dan pelatihan. Nah, sejauh mana personel atau sumber daya manusianya ini atau teknisi laboratorium ini benar-benar mempunyai background pendidikan dan pelatihan yang tepat sesuai dengan yang dibutuhkan. Yang kedua, perlu adanya lingkungan. Lingkungan kerja ini harus cukup cahaya, kemudian cukup penerangan, sejuk, tenang, tidak bising, dan lain-lain. Sehingga personel atau teknisi laboratorium ini benar-benar melakukan pekerjaan itu dengan tenang, dengan steril atau lingkungan yang benar-benar memang menjaga kualitas dari laboratorium atau dari alat atau apa itu namanya jamur secara biologis yang akan dilakukan pemeriksaan spesimen gitu ya. Nah, yang ketiga adalah spesimennya itu sendiri. Pengambilan spesimen, pengolahan spesimen, penyimpanan, bahkan pengiriman itu juga sangat berpengaruh terhadap kualitas dari hasil pemeriksaan. Kemudian yang keempat ini adalah bahan-bahan laboratorium itu sendiri. Dari kalau kita lihat bahan-bahan laboratorium itu berarti dibutuhkan mutu regensia, bahan kimia, cat, media, binatang percobaan kalau itu memang menggunakan binatang percobaan. Nah, ini juga sangat berpengaruh terhadap hasil pemeriksaan. Dan yang berikutnya ada metode pemeriksaan, ada peralatan laboratorium, ada pembacaan pemeriksaan, dan yang penting lagi adalah pelaporannya. Nah, untuk itu seluruh peserta pada visiting professor pada pagi hari ini, mari kita simak bersama materi dari narasumber yang luar biasa, yang beliau adalah ahlinya di bidang laboratorium mikrobiologi. Apa saja faktor yang berpengaruh terhadap kualitas dari laboratorium mikrobiologi ini menjadi penting. Kemudian bagaimana memanage atau mengelola laboratorium itu sehingga kita sebagai teknisi laboratorium atau bahkan pengguna dari laboratorium itu benar-benar bisa kita adopt ilmunya dan bisa kita gunakan di sini, ya. Maka tidak mengulangi makna dalam pelaksanaan visiting professor, mudah-mudahan bisa memberikan manfaat dan seluruh peserta tetap bisa join di sini sampai selesai. Maka nanti silahkan kalau ada pertanyaan bisa dituliskan sehingga ini nanti bisa dikomunikasikan langsung kepada beliau, gitu ya. Tidak mengurangi makna dan supaya ini pelaksanaan bisa berjalan dengan lancar, kita buka bersama dengan bacaan basmalah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Supaya tidak mengurangi waktu yang banyak ya, dan sementara karena sekarang posisi saya juga di Jakarta, nanti bisa dilanjutkan langsung dengan pelaksanaan visiting profesornya ya, Bu Firdausi Nuzula. Terima kasih atas peran sertanya semua peserta, baik itu internal maupun eksternal. Terima kasih juga kepada seluruh panitia dan khususnya adalah program studi D4 Teknologi Laboratorium Medis, D3 Laboratorium Medis, dosen dan tim yang sudah mempersiapkan ini dengan baik sekali. Kurang lebihnya mohon dimaafkan. Saya akhiri, wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much to Dean of the Faculty of Health Science, Universitas Muhammadiyah Surabaya, Dr. Nurmuka Roma SKM Enkes for the remarks. The next item is Profile of Medical Laboratory Technology, Bachelor Universitas Muhammadiyah Surabaya.
Ya, Bu Nuzula mohon izin saya live dulu ya, sedang mengikuti workshop di tempat yang lainnya. Terima kasih Bu Patmi, Bu Reli, Bu Elis, Bu Ica dan semuanya. Terima kasih. Silakan dilanjutkan. Saya mohon izin undur diri dulu. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, for the next item is a profile of medical laboratory technology, Bachelor Universitas Muhammadiyah Surabaya. The vision of the Medical Laboratory Technology Bachelor to make the Medical Laboratory Technology Bachelor a center for developing laboratory quality management based on morality, intellectuality, and entrepreneurship. We have the expertise of medical laboratory technology lecturer on hematology and clinical chemistry, and we have two in immunology, parasitology, immunology, bacteriology, toxicology, molecular biology, and cytohistotechnology. And after this, we are coming to the main event that will be panel discussion, with special speakers, Professor Ahmad Bilal Wakar, Head of Department University Institute of Medical Laboratory Technology, Faculty of Allied Health Science, the University of Lahore. The discussion will be led and hosted by our beloved lecturer, Ms. Batrun Kunsah, MSE. But before that, let me read her outstanding curriculum vitae. All right. Batrun Kunsa ST MSI. She graduated from Bachelor of Chemical Engineering from Malang National Institute of Technology, and 2012 she graduated from Master of Chemistry Erlangga University. For current position, now she a lecturer in Muhammadiyah University of Surabaya, also Secretary of the Quality Assurance Institution at the Muhammadiyah University of Surabaya. And when 20 and 21, she received a humanitarian research grant from the Ministry of Research and Technology of the Republic of Indonesia. Also, she becoming an independent accreditation board for Indonesia Health Universities. Please welcome our beloved lecturer, Ms. Batrun Kunsa, ST MSI.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Firda. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Batrun Kunsa, and I will be moderating this visiting professor event. And the keynote speaker is Professor Ahmed Bilal Wakor, Head of Department or Professor, University Institute of Medical Laboratory Technology, Faculty of Allied Health Science, the University of Lahore. And first of all, thank you, Professor Ahmed, for becoming our keynote speaker today. It's been an honor to have you here with us. And first, please allow me to read curriculum vitae of Professor Ahmed. Professor Ahmed Bilal Wakor, Head of Department or Professor, University Institute of Medical Laboratory Technology, Faculty of Allied Health Science, the University of Lahore. Graduated from Queen A. Azam Medical College, Bahawalpur in 1998 and did his MPhil in Molecular Biology from CIMB, PU Lahore. He was awarded MEXT, Molecular Biology, MEXT scholarship from Japanese government in 2006 to pursue PhD in molecular pathology from Interdisciplinary School of Medicine and Engineering, University of Yamanashi, Japan. During his study in Japan, he mastered in developing animal models and worked in generating transgenic and knockout animals related to human disease, example, arteriosclerosis, cardiovascular disease, metabolic syndrome, and etc. Her father gained experience in WHSL or WHSLME rabbits, which are considered as best animal model for research in hyperlipidemia and microcardial infarction. He was later offered a postdoctoral position in the same department due to his commitment and dedication. Currently, he is the only HIC, Pakistan approved PhD supervisor in the field of molecular pathology. He is also an approved evaluator for National Technology Council, HIC Pakistan. His degree has been registered by Pakistan Medical and Dental Council. He is regular reviewer, multiple international highly reputed journals such as Cardiovascular Research, Arteriosclerosis, Journal of Arteriosclerosis and Thrombosis. He is also an active member of Japanese Arteriosclerosis Society, JIS, and International Arteriosclerosis Society, EIS. His work has been regularly published globally with cumulative impact factor of more than 100. He has been invited for multiple guest lectures on both national, international forums or conference, and has won multiple international grants for his research. He also has the credit of establishing basic research lab in the University of Lahore and Imperial Diagnostic and Research Center at ICBS. He has supervised many MPhil and PhD students. He had also served as Dean, Faculty of Health and Allied Sciences for a period of 5 years, and also as Rector Imperial College of Business Studies ICBS before joining University of Lahore. Okay, that's the curriculum vitae of Professor Ahmed. And before we begin, I will reminder a few housekeeping notes. First, the audience need to turn off the microphone. And then if you have any question for Professor Ahmed, please use the chat feature. Well then, now let's please welcome our keynote speaker, Professor Ahmed. You may start your presentation. Thank you.
PDCA cycle or plan. Dear colleagues, I am Professor Dr. Ahmed Bilal Bakar, currently working as Head of Department of University Institute of Medical Laboratory Technology in University of Lahore. Today I will give you a talk about quality management for microbiology examination. What will be our learning objectives? At the end of this module, participants should be able to define quality assurance, quality control, and their relationship to the overall quality management system in microbiology laboratory while examining microbiology samples. Microbiological examination is important in diagnosis, treatment, surveillance of infectious diseases, policies regarding the selection and use of antimicrobial drugs. It is therefore essential that test reports are relevant, timely, and interpreted correctly. What are the factors that affect microbiology services? High cost of consumables and reagents, lack of rational approach to the selection and use of microbial investigations, shortage of trained technical staff and clinical microbiologists. These are the important factors in prevention of the establishment of essential microbiology services in developing countries. What is quality? Quality means meeting the predetermined requirements of users for a particular substance or service. Quality include the following: total quality management (TQM), continuous quality improvement (CQI), and quality assurance (QA). So let's discuss them one by one. What is total quality management? TQM means all those activities in the laboratory which controls every variable that could possibly affect the quality of the test results. In ideal situation of TQM may not be possible, but high level of quality assurance can control most of the factors which are likely to affect the test results. What is CQI? Quality, as the name indicates, continuous quality improvement. So improvement of quality continuously. And it is defined as the process which is focused on activities that are responsive to community needs and improving population health. Continuous improvement methodology hinges on 4 concrete phases: plan, do, check, and act. This is sometimes called as PDCA cycle or plan, do, check, act cycle, and it reveals principle of continuous improvement. Quality assurance. Quality assurance has been defined by World Health Organization as the total processes by which the quality of laboratory reports can be guaranteed. It can be summarized as right results at the right time, on the right specimen, from the right patient, with result interpretation based on right reference data and at the right price. There are 4 features of quality assurance. Comprehensive, that covers every step from collection of sample to report dispatch. Rationale, to concentrate on the most critical step in the cycle. Procedure, to provide the regular monitoring in test procedures. And frequent, to detect an error as they occur. So good quality laboratory services means good medicine. What is internal quality control? This is a set of procedures undertaken to ensure quality from the collection of specimens to the performance of the test up to analytical results, and the procedure being planned, ordered, and followed up. The aspects of internal quality control cleaning of the working space, personal hygiene, safety precautions, designated eating and smoking areas located outside of the laboratory, handling and disposal of infected material, appropriate vaccinations for workers, for example, hepatitis B, care of equipment, collection of specimens, registration of specimens, elimination of unsuitable specimens, processing of specimens, recording of results, and reporting of results. These are all the aspects of internal quality control. So what are the objectives of external quality assessment? Monitoring of laboratory performance and evaluation of quality control measures. Establishing of inter-laboratory comparability. Influence reliability of future testing, promote high standards of good laboratory practices, encourage use of standard reagents, methodology, and trained personnel, identify common errors, provide mechanisms to remedy identified deficiencies, education through exercises, reports, and meetings. What are the factors that influence quality? Quality is not achieved through improving and controlling the analytical process alone, without parallel improvement and control of pre-analytical and post-analytical stage. In every lab, there are 3 stages. One is when a specimen comes, or when you take a specimen, that is a pre-analytical stage, then you do the analysis, that is the analytical stage, and then the post-analytical stage in which you analyze the results and you dispatch the report. So in all these stages, there are factors that can influence quality. So what are the factors in pre-analytical stage? How you prepare the patient, how you select the proper sample, how you take the sample, how you collect the sample and transport it, details of the patient and specimen identification, knowledge of the normal range of the results and abnormalities, and selection of the right test methods. These are all the factors that can influence the quality in the pre-analytical stage. Then comes analytical stage, which is actually you are doing the lab testing. So the factors that can influence the quality during the lab testing are detailed procedure for examining different specimens, staining techniques and quality control of stains, aseptic techniques and safe handling of infectious material, preparation of quality control of culture media and preservation of stock strains, inoculation of liquid and solid media, reading and interpretation of cultures, techniques used to identify pathogens, antimicrobial sensitivity testing and quality control of procedures and antibiotic discs, cleaning and quality control of equipment used in microbiology laboratory, immunological techniques and quality control of antigen and antibody reagents, safe working practices. Then comes the post-analytical stage. In the post-analytical stage, the factors that can influence the quality are final report writing, interpretation of report by clinician, instructions of appropriate therapy, accuracy, bias, and errors. So these are all the factors in which can, if not done properly, can influence the quality during the procedure of analyzing a specimen in a lab. So we have defined quality, we have discussed quality. Now how to control it? What is quality control? Quality control is used to monitor the accuracy and precision of the assay. And what is the purpose of quality control? The goal of quality control is to detect errors and correct them before patients' results are reported. So quality control in microbial-based products requires the utmost safety and quality standards. Quality control allows microbiologists to monitor and protect against microbial impurities in biomanufacturing production systems. Protocols must be adhered to control the environmental factors in production and maintain a sterile environment throughout the process. Quality control is often confused with quality assurance. Quality control covers all aspects of every procedure within a production process to prevent and control errors that may happen. Quality assurance serves as a seal of approval of the production process. What are the procedures of quality control? along with trained qualified personnel to assure quality control protocols are followed. There are best practices for maintaining quality control in a microbiology lab or production system. These include monitoring environmental factors continuously by taking samples, counting microbials, identifying microbials, and tracking and analyzing data. Equipment use also falls under environmental factors as it must be consistent each time it is used. Investigating contamination events and deviations from the quality control standards, continuously updating standard operating procedures to maintain quality control. The best practices must follow the company's procedures and comply with federal guidelines depending on the product being created. Lab tests must be accurate, timely, and reliable to assure the general public that a product is ready for consumption or use. So what are the important concepts in quantitative quality control? Sample management, staff competency, equipment maintenance, control materials, stain, media and reagent management, record keeping. Quality control of growth media. Keep records for media prepared in-house. Record outcomes in a dedicated media logbook for pH, sterility, ability to support growth using stock cultures, biochemical response of stock cultures, frequency, test each new batch or lot number. If quality control is out of control, the good practice is to stop testing, identify and correct the problem, repeat testing on patient samples and controls after correction. Do not report patient's result. I repeat, do not report patient results until problem is solved and controls indicate proper performance. So how quality control programs it works? So it starts from establishing a written policy or procedure, then train staff according to these policies and procedures, then assure complete documentation and review the quality control data. And if you find any problem in it, you do the correction and include that corrective actions into the established written policies and procedures again. So what are the good laboratory practices? Performance of all the activities of the laboratory in the best possible way so that the results obtained are of highest possible accuracy. This is the good laboratory practice. So how can you achieve that? You do proper collection of samples. You appropriately identify specimens with special labels on hazardous samples or specimens. Then prompt transportation to laboratory at appropriate temperature. Then collection and storage under conditions which prevent deterioration of the sample before the performance of the test, especially anaerobic culture, accurate performance of test, then release of reports, delivery of reports to the correct destination in the shortest possible time. These are all good laboratory practices. Then standard operating procedures, SOPs. What are SOPs? Each laboratory must have SOPs, sometimes referred to as the local laboratory bench manuals. It is required to improve and maintain the quality of laboratory service to patients and identify problems associated with poor work or performance. To provide laboratory staff with written instructions on how to perform tests consistently to an acceptable standard in the laboratory. To help avoid shortcuts being taken while performing tests. To provide written standardized techniques for use in the training of the laboratory personnel. To facilitate the preparation of a list and inventory of essential reagents and equipments, and to promote safe laboratory practices. Quality criteria which should be used in microbiology. Clinical relevance, contribution of tests to the prevention or cure of infectious diseases. If Streptococcus pyogenes is isolated, a full antibiograms has no clinical relevance since benzyl penicillin is the drug of choice, and this is always active in vitro. If E. coli is isolated from a sporadic case of non-bloody diarrhea, identification of the serotype is of no clinical relevance since there is no clearly established correlation between serotype and pathogenicity. So good quality test is one that is accurate, gives us full results for the prevention and cure of infection. Efficiency. It is the ability to give the correct diagnosis of the pathogen or pathological condition. It is measured by two criteria: diagnostic sensitivity. Sensitivity is equal to total number of positive results divided by total number of infected patients. The greater the sensitivity of a test, the fewer the number of false negative results. For example, the sensitivity of McConkey agar is poor for the isolation of Salmonella typhi from stew. This important enteric pathogen is often missed because of overgrowth by non-pathogenic. Then is diagnostic specificity. So what is specificity? Total number of negative results divided by total number of uninfected patients. The greater the specificity of the test, the fewer the number of false positive results. For example, Zell-Nelson staining of sputum is highly specific for diagnosing tuberculosis because it gives only a few false positive results. So how to check the quality control of culture media? It should be prepared from basic ingredients or from commercially available dehydrated powders or purchased ready. Ordering and storage of dehydrated media. Order quantities that will be used up within 6 months or at most 1 year, and working media should be used up within 1 month. Record date and amount of receiving the container. Store in dark, cool, well-ventilated place and protect against sunlight. Discard all dehydrated media that are either caked or darkened. Keep written records of media that is in stock. Storage of the prepared media. We should protect it against sunlight, protect it against heat. Media containing blood, other organic additives or antibiotics should be stored in the refrigerator. Typical shelf life of media are tubes with cotton wool plugs for 3 weeks, tubes with loose caps 2 weeks, containers with screw caps for 3 months, and petri dishes if sealed in plastic bags for 4 weeks. Quality control of prepared media. pH testing. If the medium is prepared from basic ingredients, it should be allowed to cool before the pH is tested. If the pH differs by more than 0.2 units from the specifications, adjust with acid or alkali or prepare a new batch. Then sterility testing. Take 3 to 5% of each batch and incubate at 35 degree for 2 days. Refrigerate rest. If more than 2 colonies per plate are seen, discard the whole batch. Then is performance testing. Laboratory should keep a set of stock strains for monitoring the performance of media. Standard strains for quality control are Staphylococcus aureus ATCC 25923, then E. coli ATCC 25922, Pseudomonas, and Enterococcus faecalis. You can see it on my slides. Then quality control in antibiotic susceptibility testing. Discs should be of correct diameter, 6.35 millimeter, and of correct potency. Stock supplies should be stored frozen at -20 degrees centigrade. Working supplies should be kept no longer than 1 month in a refrigerator, 2 to 8 degrees centigrade. Only Mueller-Hinton agar of performance tested quality and pH 7.2 to 7.4 should be used. Inoculum should be standardized against the turbidity standards. Zone sizes should be measured and interpreted by referring to a table of critical diameters. Tests should be carried out with the 3 standard stains. When a new batch of dishes is put into use, when a new batch of medium is put into use, and once a week in parallel with the routine and antibiograms. Quality management system. In order to check the quality of a lab, or if you want to keep a lab to a certain quality, and if you want to manage the quality of a lab, now they have introduced a quality management system which is available all around the world, and it describes how to operationalize the management and technical requirements which are described under the ISO 15189 international standards. It actually provides a crosswalk of the ISO requirements for quality and competence for medical laboratories to the 12 quality system standards, essentials delineated by the clinical and laboratory institutes. So what are the categories for quality principle? It is organized under 3 main categories: quality infrastructure, laboratory operations, and quality assurance and continual improvement. The roles and responsibilities to establish and sustain a QMS, quality management system, are outlined for microbiology laboratory staff, laboratory management personnel, and the institution's leadership. An effective quality management system encourages systems thinking by providing a process to think globally of the effects of any type of change. Ultimately, a successful QMS is achieved when its principles are adopted as part of daily practice throughout the total testing process continuum. So what is the conclusion from my talk here? Quality assurance is equal to quality control plus internal quality assessment and plus external quality assurance. Quality control must be practical, achievable, and affordable. Quality assurance is important in the diagnosis, treatment, and surveillance of infectious diseases and policies regarding the selection and use of antimicrobial drugs. Trained technical staff and clinical microbiologists are important resource persons in providing the establishment of essential microbiology systems. Regular use of standard operating procedures is essential for maintaining the quality of results in between labs. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much, Professor
Dear
Ahmed, for
colleagues,
the excellent presentation. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to question and answer session. Now, let's see in our chat box, we have some interesting questions. The first one is from Atsila. The question is, what is quality management in laboratory? And the second is from Lala Adi Viola. What is the need of quality control in diagnostic microbiology? Well, okay. And okay, for now it's just 2 questions from chat box. And we are really sorry because of the trouble connection with Professor Ahmed. The answer from your question will be shared at the chat group. Yes. And then, okay, participant, ladies and gentlemen, is there any question for Professor Ahmed? Okay. Yes. It's really interesting theme that we are discussing today, and we hope it will make us more knows about the quality control in microbial diagnostic. Okay. And well, because of there's no more question, the unanswered question should be responded by Professor Ahmed. Yes, later via our social media. So please, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned in our social media. Okay, and then because of due to our time limitation, we have to end the question and answer session. And the last, on behalf of Bachelor of Applied Medical Laboratory Technologies, we would like to say thank you very much to Professor Ahmed and to everyone for attending this event and for your active participation. Have a great rest of your day. See you the next event. And I'm Batrun Kunsa. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you for Mr. Batrun Kunsa, and thank you to Professor Ahmed Bilal Wakar, who has been willing to be a speaker today. And before we close the event, I kindly hope we ask all participants to take a photo for documentation. To documentation team, please take a photo, and I will count from screen 1. From screen 1. 1, 2, 3, and the next screen. 1, 2, 3. Screen 3. 1, 2, 3, and we have 7 screens, so be patient. For screen 1, 2, 3, 5 screen 5. 1, 2, 3. The next screen 1, 2, 3, and the last screen 1, 2, 3. Okay, I hope all participants to fill the Monef kepuasan visiting professor in the chat room. So before we close, I hope you all copy the link so you can fill that link. And then finally, from the depths of my heart, I do apologize for my mistake in presenting this event. For all participants, don't forget to check our social media for more information. Our Instagram Sarjana Terapan TLM.UM Surabaya, and our YouTube channel Sarjana Terapan Teknologi Laboratorium Medis UM Surabaya. Thank you very much to all participants and team who helped make this event success. Let's close this event by reciting Hamdalah together. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. See you on the next event. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.